All right. What is up, everybody? Day 2 of the World Cup. My name is Keith Jameson. I go by Guy 231 across the DFS industry. And if you're like me and had a little bit too much Qatar in your lineups today, we move on to Slate 2. Should be a lot of fun. I think it's a really good Classic 3 game. We're going to go over the strategy with staggered starts. Then I also think, obviously, capping off with the USA Showdown for all of us American fans is going to be hell of fun. Quick reminder, like, subscribe, and comment to the video. And if you are interested in full coverage, it's been awesome to see a number of people new from YouTube that said they've been watched for a while. Join the Discord. $40 gets you everything in the entire tournament. So all the showdowns, all the classics, chat once lineups come out. So an hour before the game, chat with Storm and I to go over all we can, do the best we possibly can over your lineups, to give you sometimes not the most fun answers, right? You give us 2 good options on players, and it's like, whoever does the best, like there's not a process difference between it, but a lot of times, we can snuff out process differences, try to help you on the right road for your lineups on top of the core plays. All right, enough sales. No more sales. Let's get to the football. Almost said soccer. The football. So let's open up. We are doing all of these. Hopefully there might, I don't want to do unfulfilled promises, but I'm sure there will be a car video or two, just the nature of my schedule. But when I can get in front of a computer and show you the formations, that is what I want to do. So first game, 8 a.m., England versus Iran. I think it is so important that England is the first game, because England is the lineup that I think could change the most. I think this is a pretty good, accurate description, by SofaScore, with Foden and Sterling. Sterling could very much give way to Saka, who's been unbelievable all season. England could also go to a back 4. I've seen predictions of that as well, with Mason Mount coming in to play the number 10. We've seen this is Gareth Southgate's preferred formation. Big favorite first game. Gareth Southgate, in my opinion, is a boring manager. So I think he's going to default to this formation. So I think this is pretty accurate, even if it means Eric Dyer has to play. All right, let's talk about the England set situation. If this is the lineup, it should be Trippier and Foden splitting sets. I much prefer Trippier. Trippier is going to be one of the most popular players on the slate. I much prefer him if he's wingback versus back 4. Back 4 is going to be a little bit more pressure not to push forward. We've seen Southgate tell those right backs, especially in the back 4, to not push up as much. But when they're wingback and they have that coverage, a little bit more freedom. Also should mention, if fit, I don't think he is. But if Kyle Walker's fit, Stones is going to move the middle, and that's going to be Kyle Walker, who they love that speed to have him in the back line. But Trippier, I think he's a cash core type of player. Him and Foden, again, splitting the England sets. Foden gets a lot more attacking peripherals. I think Foden, to me, is like the best player the best play on the entire slate. At his price, he's like 7,600, mid only, but we're going to be able to fill the forward spot, no problem. So I think Foden and Trippier is probably going to go in cash. Luke Shaw's viable. He's not taking corners really anymore for them. He doesn't take them over Foden in past games, and doesn't cross the ball a ton too. So I think I can pass on Shaw. Obviously, the big play on the slate is Harry Kane. I think Harry Kane is going to decide for a lot of people if you cash or don't. Just like today, if you play Inter Valencia, it was close to 50% in cash. If you had him, you cash. It doesn't matter if you had like zeros, you cash. If you didn't, you didn't. Like, that's sometimes going to happen, how it happens. And I think on this classic slate, Harry Kane is going to be one of the most popular players on the slate. He might start out with minus 1.5 points. There is the armband controversy with him. I don't know what they call it. I think it's the pride band is the correct term for it. But, I saw rumors that if he wears it, he's starting out with the yellow card. That being said, I think he has the best scoring odds on the slate. England's minus 333 favorite. You expect probably multiple goals for an Iran team that is very undermanned compared to this talent on England. So I'd expect Kane to be on a goal or assist watch. Of course, has penalties. He's one of the best penalty takers in the world. So I think he's fine. Sterling could be a very decent GPP leverage. I think Sterling's ownership will be way down. As is one other. I'll just don't mean like go through the entire England lineup, but Jude Bellingham too. His price is very weird in the middle tier. Obviously he's one of the most talented midfielders in the world. I think he is really worth a go. I think Declan Rice be a super popular punt, 3,400. Then Harry Maguire is much maligned, but he is big set piece target. So, a correlation aspect of him or Stones plus like Trippier or Foden In GPP, we saw the last World Cup have a ton of center back goals, especially from John Stones, who had a game with 2 goals. Could see all that. And then obviously Pickford's in play if you have the salary. All right, I went over every England player. Let's go to the Iran. Only 2 players really to note here, especially with England being so defensively stout. But Yahakenbash and Gudos will split sets. I don't think any of them are played for the main slate, but if you want to get really weird in GPP, those would be the 2 to target. Let's move on to the next game, Senegal versus Netherlands. I already see Netherlands goalie here is wrong. This is going to be Noppert. Noppert's 6'8", one of the best goalkeepers in the Netherlands right now. Plays for Heerenveen, I believe is how you say it. Guy's massive. He's like 6'8", 6'9". He's going to get the first go for the Netherlands. But Netherlands minus 175. Big reason Senegal missing Sadio Mane. Let's start with Netherlands. I think, and I don't know if I'm like, so for those that are new, I don't read content. I don't watch any content. I have no idea what the industry has to say about things. I go on a beat of my own drum on these things. I think Cody Gakpo could be the best play on the slate. Best play on the slate. Taking Monopoly set pieces for PSG, geez, PSV. He could very easily take a Monopoly here without Memphis Depay. Memphis Depay is not fit for the game, could be on the bench. But Cody Gakpo has had one of the most cool contributions in the entire world to start the season. Young player, is likely to get a move in January. I think he's going to be the breakout of the tournament. I'm very, very high on him here. He's 9,100, fills a forward spot. At worst, he takes half the set pieces, and he's going to split with Toon Koopmeiners. At best, it's Monopoly. Either way, he's in the attacking third. Just great playmaker. I think Senegal is a little up against it here, especially without Mane. They played very good football, but I think they're going to be on the defensive, play on the counter. I really, really like Gakpo. Vincent Janssen, goal or bust. Steven Bergwijn, funny enough, as much as you know him from Spurs, plays decent for Ajax, he's still goal or bust. Those are not my type of plays. I think got Gakpo in optimal and in cash is the way you go and to get your Netherlands exposure. Daley Blind and Dumfries are fine as attacking fullbacks. Dumfries has a lot more goal equity. So if you're going to pick one of the 2 of them for big upside, Dumfries is the one that gets forward. Koopmeiners, just as I mentioned, could take some set pieces. Otherwise, that's going to be where he's going to drive a lot of his value. So I think I'm probably passing. I'd rather go, different routes, but, he's viable. Obviously, the back line, without Mane, I think the goal threat's way down. So if you want to do some like goalkeeper defense correlation, I'm fine with that. Van Dijk, obviously the biggest set piece threat for the Netherlands. For Senegal, their sets are definitely up in the air. I think if this is the lineup, okay, I haven't seen many predictions, so just going with this. I think Idrissa Gueye took at the end of the of AFCON. We saw Sarr playing right back, not this Sarr. They have another Sarr. I can't remember his first name right now, like Boubacar or something like that. Anyhow, he was taking almost all the set pieces, and then Idrissa Gueye started cutting into it. So I would assume Idrissa Gueye has a chance at some. He's cheap and viable, so I think it works. And Ismail Sarr for Watford, very dynamic player. I could see him jumping on some. He's never really taken set pieces at club level, but he crosses the ball a ton, so he has the ability to put that technique. But yeah, Ismail Sarr and Gueye would be my top plays to go. Netherlands should be pretty stout defensively, so I'm just not super high on Senegal here, but those would be the routes I would go. Final game, USA. I believe that we could win. Come on, guys. Massive game versus Wales. I can't wait. Let's talk in detail about this game. Obviously, it's the featured showdown as well. Let's start from the USA side of things, okay? This is a very different lineup that SofaScore has than I've seen. What I saw recently from people that somewhat are in the know is Josh Sargent up the middle, which I think is a mistake. Jesus Ferreira has been in that role. I feel like he has more. Sargent's been in and out of the team, but has been playing well for Norwich. We know Greg is big on form. Don't even get me started. But whether it's Ferreira or if it's Sargent, I think they're more GPP anyways. Right wing, I've seen Timothy Weah. That's who it should be. Timothy Weah has been like the best to second best player for the USA during all the different breaks. Just been absolutely dynamic at the right wing. I know Aaronson's playing at Leeds. I know Aaronson's playing well. We all love Brendan Aronson. This is not a shot on Aronson, but I think it needs to be Timothy Weah. So I think it's Pulisic, Sargent, Weah, much to some people's chagrins. I don't know who else would be there. Tim Ream is probably the left center back. So other than that, I've seen that's the rest of the lineup. The midfield's pretty set. I don't see a way that he goes there. Greg's not playing anything other than 4-3-3. These are the 3 midfielders. Dest, Zimmerman, Robinson are pretty all locked in. Pulisic's obviously locked in. We go from there. All right. If that formation that I said comes to fruition, Pulisic will take monopoly set pieces. If Aronson is in, we've seen him split. Sorry if you can hear the sun scream in the background. This is my window. If screams happen, that's how we're going with it. But Pulisic will be a lock and load on Showdown. I think he's going to be potentially over-owned in Classic. I have Gakpo ahead of Pulisic. Better team, better player, Ducks. This is what it is. And, better matchup. So, but Pulisic obviously is very, very cash viable on Classic. Monopoly set pieces, lock and Showdown. Very strong possibility. He is your Showdown captain. And you go from there. Anthony Robinson has been the much more attacking of the fullbacks. Serginho Dest, very attacking as well. Timothy Weah, as I discussed, has been taking guys on like crazy. We should see Gio Reyna sub in. We should see Aronson sub in. Weston McKennie, the most attacking of the midfielder spots. Those are your guys to target. If you think the USA wins 1-0, Matt Turner's a great play. If you don't, you stay away from Matt Turner. I don't think Wales is going to pepper shots. Could be wrong, but I don't think that's going to happen. All right, that should cover USA side. Let's go to the Wales side of things. Much to everybody's surprise, Gareth Bale is not the guy that takes set pieces for Wales on all the breaks. He could. He takes a lot of direct free kicks, but Daniel James takes majority of set pieces. I think Daniel James' 5,200s are really, really solid play in the mid tier. He kind of sticks out in there depending on lineup. So I think Daniel James and the attacking third plays in the EPL, higher level than a lot of USA guys, gets to play with Gareth Bale, gets to have that type of thing. I think Daniel James is a really nice play. He's a lock and load in Showdown. And then just depending on how you feel, I think one of the biggest decisions on the Showdown stage, you play Gareth Bale. He was not good for LAFC, did score one of the most important goals in their history, getting them to extra time and then winning in PKs in the MLS final. But he has not been healthy. I'm sure he's going to spring back to health here. But, USA pretty decent defensively. I think that they will be circling. Gareth Bale is the guy they need to stop. I don't think he's really a good play on Classic. I do think he's more play in Showdown. Roberts, Nico Williams, both attacking fullbacks. They cross the ball a decent amount. Kiefer Moore is a big guy, so they do have a target person, but neither one stands out as somebody you have to play. Aaron Ramsey, the other really good player for them. He can take a set piece as well, but again, it's been Daniel James even over Ramsey as well. Ethan Apadu for a punt, 3K on the main slate, because he plays a lot of center back for his club, and he'll sometimes play center back for Wales too, but a lot of times he's in that midfield role. Good player, so I think 3K for a punt for a midfielder that's defensive. Maybe that gives you a little bit of flexibility in your lineups. That makes sense. All right, that'll do it for the breakdown of the games. Let me just go real quickly over strategy for the staggered slates. Make sure that your utility spot is the last guy that locks, okay? So if you have a guy from USA Wales, he should automatically be in utility. So if it's Daniel James, if it's Christian Pulisic, unless Pulisic you needed for a forward spot, but if it's anybody else that you were able to fill previously, they should be in the utility spot. The reason for that is so that you can swap if A he's out, or B if there's just a different play, or if it's super chalk and you're way behind. If you're way behind and you have Pulisic in utility, you are not going to gain ground on people. You need to go ahead and switch that to a Timothy Weah, to a Gareth Bale, somebody else to get off the ownership and hopefully have just a little differential to push you into cash. It also makes a lot of sense potentially if you're trying to break ties. Let's say that you're on a final punt, right? Let's say that you have 3K as defender and you're like, do I go for a Senegal center back, or do I wait for a Wales or a USA center back? You wait if all else is equal, because now you can have a 2v2. Now you can go down from, let's say, from Pulisic to Daniel James, and then up from a punt to Anthony Robinson or something like that to give you a little bit more differential. So that's some of the strategy with the staggered slates. Make sure you use your utility to your advantage, and you're watching what's happening. If you're way behind, that you take some risks to try to go ahead and overcome everybody else. All right, that'll do it. Let's just go over prelim cores. For Classic, I will go Harry Kane. Boring, I know. Tough. Phil Foden. Shoot. Gakpo or Trippier, or both, or neither. Whatever you want to do. That would be Classic. And then USA, of course, we'll say Pulisic, Daniel James, and then I'll probably go USA fullback. So Anthony Robinson, Serginho Dest. Still got to play around with those builds, but that's how I would roll. All right, guys. Good luck. Make sure you tune back again tomorrow. I'm not going to miss a slate. I'm not going to miss a slate on these videos, okay? Unless I am in a deathbed. And then I'll probably, hopefully, tweet out that I'm in deathbed, no video today. Maybe just still go live, something like that. Anyhow, hope you guys are enjoying this tournament as pumped as I am. Again, if you are thinking about, you want extra help, you want to join a community to watch these games, sweat it out on the DFS side, we'd love to have you at FSI. It would be our absolute pleasure. With that, thank you guys for watching. Again, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. It really does help. That'll say, see you.